Monday morning, frozen pavements, last working week of the year, alarms going off like sirens. And somewhere in a tiny terraced house in the Midlands, Brian's phone was vibrating like a dodgy washing machine. Brian rolled out of bed feeling like someone had replaced his brain with wet bread. Still wearing last night's hoodie, still smelling faintly of kebab and regrets. He checked the date, Monday 22nd December, the final lap of the year. He grabbed his phone and rang the only man who'd understand the state he was in, Paul. Paul answered on the second ring. Voice croaky, breath heavy, like he'd aged 40 years overnight. "Bruv, what happened in Swansea?" Brian asked. Silence. Then a cough. Then Paul said, "Mate, we should not be allowed out unsupervised." They spent the whole walk to work piecing together the chaos. The taxi driver who insisted on rapping Stormzy lyrics, even though he was 64. The group of lads who challenged them to a dance-off in Pop World and beat them. The bloke with a mullet who swore blind he was Tom Jones' nephew. And then, the girl. Brian remembered her just enough to cringe. The girl from the kebab shop. Laugh like Christmas lights. Eyes too pretty for that hour of the night. She'd handed him his chips, smiled, and said, "You're trouble, aren't you?" He'd meant to ask for her name. Her number. Anything. Instead he'd said something stupid like, "Do you do loyalty cards?" And she'd laughed, that proper belly laugh, the one he'd been hearing in his head all weekend. Paul was still ranting about how Brian should have asked her name when Brian reached the office door. He swiped in. Nodded at the security guard. Walked toward HR because he needed to hand in a form. And then he froze. Standing at the little HR desk. New badge. New lanyard. Fresh start on a Monday morning. So, the exact same girl from the kebab shop. Hair tied up. Winter coat still on. A smile he'd recognize in a blackout. She looked up at him. Paused. Tilted her head. Smiled. "Your trouble, are you?" She said again, same tone, same spark. Brian didn't blink, didn't breathe, didn't overthink it like he normally would. Instead he said, calm as anything, "Only on weekends, I'm Brian." She laughed, that same laugh, brighter than the office lights. Held out her hand. "Jessica." And just like that, the last week of the year didn't feel like something to survive anymore. It felt like something to run toward. Mad how life works. You can spend a whole weekend searching for something you think you've lost, only for it to walk right into your workplace on a Monday morning. Right when you need a lift the most. Last week of the year, lads, finish strong. Your next plot twist might already be walking through the door.